What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing today? And welcome to today's Reddit video. And as always in these Reddit videos, we go over 8 intriguing posts on the official WWE Reddit. I give my thoughts on the post, and don't forget, you guys can let me your thoughts on the post or debating my thoughts down in the comments below. But as always, before we get anywhere into any video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that, helps me out a ton. But now let's get you guys straight into today's WWE Reddit video. On this day last year, the New Day turned their backs on Big E. Yeah, and it was a pretty cool moment, man. Like, yes, it sucks that the New Day did split up, but it was a pretty cool moment, and it sucks to have to say what came of that. Absolutely nothing. The New Day still stuck down in the mid-card, if you even want to call it the mid-card. I mean, they're still stuck in the men's tag division over on Raw. That tag division is okay right now. Really, the only thing going for it is AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. They are doing absolutely incredible work, but that's really kind of the only thing going for it. But really, with this shift last year, when we had the New Day pretty much split up from Big E, I really thought we were going to get something major, and it turned into absolutely nothing, because literally it did nothing for the New Day when it should have. This should have been a turning moment for the New Day. I mean, yes, it made them turn heel, but it did really, that's all it did. And it really did not do much, and it did not live up to its full potential, is pretty much what I'm trying to say here. This could have had many other outcomes, but no, it just continued with the same old bullcrap, just a newly version heel of the New Day, which I guess is cool, but I wanted more. I was really intrigued in this, and I wanted more, and we didn't get it. So yeah, it was pretty much a big flop. It kind of sucks to say that, because like I said, I wish this did turn into something even bigger. But I mean, I'm not gonna deny it. Nobody can really back it up here. It was just a complete freaking just a complete shit show. Really, nothing good came of this. It was absolutely terrible. It did nothing for the New Day except really turn them heel, but that really didn't do much, because they're still stuck where they were a year ago, in my opinion. And I mean, they're running around with Grayson Waller doing all that stuff currently, which is really, in my opinion, I could care less. I really don't care to see the New Day on the show whenever they appear. I really just am kind of just like, okay, cool. I really don't care, because they just don't have. There's just really nothing going for them. And that's what this moment right here was supposed to do for them. It didn't do that. So yeah, my final thoughts here is, yeah, it didn't do shit for the New Day when it should have, and it's really unfortunate in my opinion. Finally, yes, I'm right there with you, brother. We got Liv Morgan back in the Judgment Day with Raquel and Roxanne. I will say, though, I have a few questions. Where do we go from here, man? Because now it really seems like we're back to square one. We're back to where we started with Liv Morgan when she joined the Judgment Day. It's really feeling like to me. So where do we go from here? Because I really was on the verge that, the Judgment Day was probably about to split up within the next year. I don't really see that now, because now that Liv Morgan's back and they're already inserting her into like the world title picture, they're already inserting her back to the Judgment Day, and she's really not questioning others in the Judgment Day. It's kind of just all falling back into peace like it was. So my question is, where do we go from here? Now that's good that I'm questioning that, because obviously to me it's unpredictable. Maybe to you guys, maybe it's not, but to me, I think it's kind of unpredictable now, because now it's like, okay, where do we go? I mean, we're just back to where we were. I mean, it's just really interesting. I kind of figured like Liv was going to turn on, Roxanne or Raquel. I kind of thought that was going to happen. Maybe that is still to come. I'm not saying it's not out of the picture, because it's probably not, but I'm just saying I kind of thought that was going to happen as soon as she came back. But like I said, that's clearly not what's happening, because I mean, like I said, clearly they are going to have Liv Morgan back in the world title picture like that, because they've already had a little standoff and just with Stephanie Vaquer on this past episode of Raw. So for that reason being, it's clear that they don't want to do anything else with Liv Morgan except be in the world title picture. But hey, like I said, man, it's a good thing that I am like kind of wondering what's going to happen, because like I said, I honestly don't really want this to be predictable. I kind of do like that I don't know what's going to happen, because I really don't, man. It could go many ways, like I keep saying, but it's just, I thought it was going to happen instantly. Clearly it's not. So maybe it's probably going to take some time before we finally get the Judgment Day split. But I'm just saying, it is cool that Liv is back, but it's very unpredictable, which, like I said, is inevitably a good thing for me, at least. I prefer that, honestly, because a lot of things recently, in my opinion, have kind of been predictable in WWE. This is, kind of, for me right now, is really not that predictable. I mean, yes, I feel like the final outcome is obviously going to be a heel turn in, Judgment Day splitting and all that stuff, but when is that going to happen is kind of where I mean it's unpredictable, and how it's going to happen, because it's really kind of like the puzzle pieces are all kind of mixed up for me right now, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, that's really my final thoughts there. Bro, did Solo just had a better match with Gunther than Jay had in any of his 5 matches with him? I'm gonna have to argue with you. Yeah, I think Solo definitely did have a better match with Gunther. Now that I'm not hating on Jay whatsoever. In fact, I'm not even saying it's Jay's fault. Maybe it's just Jay and Gunther didn't have great chemistry, because I still like Jay. I know a lot of people don't like Jay from an in-ring perspective, that is. I mean, I could see it. I mean, I'm not going to lie, the spear that he did hit, the spear he hit on LA Knight this past episode of Raw was pretty freaking garbage. And I know a lot of people hate on his spear. I personally don't really care that much, but that one I will say was pretty freaking ass. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I think you're definitely right here. Solo definitely had a better match with Gunther than Jay did. And like I said, that's not to hate on Jay. I'm just saying I think that maybe just Solo and Gunther probably have better chemistry, and they just work better in the ring. You know, I think that's just my argument there. But like I said, no hate towards Jay. I still like Jay, man. Jay's character right now I think is pretty cool. I like Jay anyways. You know, cool to see him every week. You know, so but yeah, I think Solo absolutely had a better match with Gunther. I mean, the match was absolutely amazing. Great back and forth, man. That we had. I love the ending. It was like it really made things different, man. Because usually in Gunther's matches, it's like, okay, Gunther hits the power bomb, then he goes for the cover. His opponent kicks out, then he hits him with another power bomb, and maybe even a third one, and then he gets him in the sleeper hold, and then they tap out. So, and this match really didn't have that. That kind of changed it up, you know. So I really liked that for that reason, and you know, we kind of saw that same formula, like I mentioned, with the whole sleeper hold in Jay's matches. So I'm kind of glad that obviously did not happen here. Obviously, even if it did, it kind of would have buried Solo and everything that he has going for him right now, if you ask me. But yeah, my final thoughts here. Absolutely, I think Solo definitely had a better match with Gunther than Jay did in any of his 5 matches for sure. This match was absolutely incredible in my opinion on this last episode of Raw. But yeah, overall great match. But like I said, no hate towards Jay in any way, honestly. Effective immediately, I, Becky Lynch, the greatest of all time, not just me saying it, will boycott Monday Night Raw until my demands are met. My title is returned to me, side plates included, car is suspended, and an apology is issued. Thank you for your attention to this matter, man. I just gotta say, this is very freaking funny, and it just goes to show that Becky Lynch's heel work just continues to get even more incredible, man. What she's done this year in her heel run has been absolutely amazing. It's done so much for, you know, even the Intercontinental division, other stars like Maxine Dupree. It's just overall elevated her in general. So overall, I think she's had a great year. But this post in general here, I think, is very freaking funny. And I wonder if this is actually going to get brought up on Monday Night Raw, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really go to X and see if this was, you know, when this post was posted. I'm not gonna lie, so I don't know if this was after this week's episode of Raw. I really don't know, but I'm kind of wondering, are they actually going to implement this into WWE? And maybe they will, maybe they won't. It depends. If they do, I think that's going to be really funny. Going to be interesting to see how that works out, in my opinion. But if that actually, yeah, I mean, if it's going to be interesting to see if this plays out in WWE. But overall, I think this post right here is funny as hell. It's very, very freaking funny. It's just very interesting too. It's like, it kind of just seems like random to me. I mean, I get why she's saying that, because obviously she's pissed at Jessica Carr and her title. You know, it's been stripped of her. You know, and then even this whole stuff with AJ Lee and all that stuff. So I can understand. I understand, you know, where she's coming from here. But very, very funny post to me. But my main question, like I said, is kind of what are they going to do with this? Or is this actually going to be put on the screen in WWE on Raw? Or is this just going to be, you know, a fun thing on, you know, social media type of thing? What is it going to be is kind of what I want to know. Either way it goes, I think it's still funny. I think it's a really cool post, really interesting. In my opinion, I think you can get some definitely cool laughs out of this, like me in general. I think this was very cool, very, very funny post in my opinion. But yeah, overall, my main question is, you know, where do we go? Where does this go? Does it stay on X, or does it go over to Monday Night Raw? What is the case? We'll have to wait and see, but overall, I think this is a very funny post. Brock's 2025 so far. Yeah, honestly, yeah, you're right. You're pretty much right, man. I mean, I mean, dude, how does this all happen with Lesnar is kind of my question here. How does this all happen to a guy like Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar is supposed to be the beast incarnate, dude. He is supposed to be like that kind of like final boss. He's supposed to be that major final beast type of thing. I don't really, you know, he's supposed to be that monster. And then this happens to him. First he gets the ripped pants when he hits the F5, and then when he's doing his entrance, he freaking flips over. I mean, come on, dude. It's just kind of crazy how it happens to Brock Lesnar and not anybody else. You know, it's really interesting to me. And I'm not saying this obviously hasn't happened to people. I'm just saying how it happens, you know, how it managed to fall on Lesnar is pretty much what I'm saying. I mean, it's just really interesting, dude. It really is. It's like, okay, I mean, it's funny. It really adds for some cool moments. It really adds for some good memes. But man, it's just like, holy dude, this is very interesting. But yeah, I think these are both funny moments, dude. I honestly, obviously was not even expecting any of these. I mean, obviously nobody was, but man, I'm just like, you're just sitting there watching the show. Next thing you know, this guy has ripped pants or this guy's falling over. I mean, bro, come on, dude. It should be common. You shouldn't rip your pants on television. We already know that, right? Come on. But like, dude, it's really funny, man. And then saying Brock's 2025 so far just pretty much sums it all up. Just rip pants and falling over. Pretty much Brock's 2025. But yeah, these made for some very funny moments on screen, and obviously you're gonna make for some very great memes like this one here. But yeah, overall, I think this is funny. It really is very freaking hilarious. The Last Time Is Now tournament is a disaster, and then down here you list, obviously Sheamus injured, Penta injured, even guys that are like former in the WWE, they come back and then just instantly sent packing. I really understand what you're trying to say here. I really understand what you say here. But honestly, I did make a whole separate video on this, but I kind of want to like recap on that. I don't honestly think it's a disaster. I think it definitely had a lot more potential, and I don't think it's as good as it could have been. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, dude, you had the Miz put in there twice. That should not have happened. I think that was absolutely stupid, and he got pinned twice. I get you kind of just have to throw a guy in there, but I mean, come on, at least put somebody who didn't even have a shot. I mean, I think that would have been at least better. But yeah, I understand what you're saying here. Honestly, though, I still don't. I really still do have some interest in it. I mean, obviously in the finals currently, it's going to be LA Knight versus Gunther. I know a lot of people probably did not want that. I know, but I mean, it's obviously going to be better than Jay versus Gunther, because if LA Knight did not advance, we would have just got Jay versus Gunther again, which is obviously, we don't want that because it's already happened several freaking times, and nobody really wants to see that, anymore at this point in time. So, but yeah, as far as it being a disaster, for me personally, I don't think it's a complete disaster. It definitely had a lot more potential. I mean, it sucks to obviously have those injuries. I think those injuries are probably one of the major parts of this, like, if not the major part, but also, yeah, the idea of, the former WWE superstars who've come back in this tournament and just instantly sent packing, that also sucks too. They should have, I mean, come on, you could have at least gave them at least one more round. Come on. But, unfortunately that did not happen. And I get it. I mean, a lot of people are probably going to be pissed when Gunther wins, because honestly, my pick here, I want LA Knight to win this in the finals here, but I just obviously see Gunther winning. I think that's just obvious. I think that's just been WWE's plan all along. So I want LA Knight to win. I just sadly don't think it's going to happen. It's got to be. I just don't see WWE really giving this one to LA Knight, which is unfortunate. So, I mean, yeah, I think this Last Time Is Now tournament really can leave a bad taste in some people's mouths. I understand it 100%. I even kind of have that same feeling a little bit, but I still have some sort of interest in it, I do. I mean, I just think that obviously could have been better, absolutely. I mean, it could have been way freaking better. But yeah, that's really my only thoughts there. Am I wrong for liking Brock versus Cena 2025? So obviously you have the WrestlePalooza match here. So obviously I do my PLE recaps. I talked about this match, and in that video I had pretty much talked about how I absolutely liked the match. But then I got some feedback and kind of tried to understand. So then I kind of like want to reevaluate my thoughts there. So in that video I said, like I said, that I liked it. And honestly, looking back now, I'm gonna say that you're not wrong for liking it, but I'm just saying, me personally, I think I'm gonna have to say that honestly, I think this match was pretty freaking bad. Really looking back at it now, I mean, I liked it in the moment because, kind of that like anger and like that kind of like beast side of Brock Lesnar coming out, like that traditional Brock Lesnar, and then he's just kind of squashing John Cena. I mean, it looks cool on screen, but you got to think this is John Cena's last few matches. So to have a match like that, it really is unfortunate, which is why one of the things I took into my consideration and really had to understand that, yeah, this match really was not that good, and it was pretty freaking trash, man. It might be, I think it is the worst in John Cena's farewell tournament, in farewell tour. But are you wrong for liking it? I would say no. I don't think you're wrong. Obviously, I mean, there's no wrong for what you like, but I think there's also that side of you that should be like, have that some sort of consideration of thinking that, why people could think that why people do say it's bad, because the majority does think this is trash. Like I said, I do argue that way now as well, but I don't think you're wrong. I think that you most likely like this because of how I first liked it, because on screen, Brock is that major beast and he's just squashing John Cena. I guess that's cool on screen, but you have to, once again, you have to think this is one of John Cena's last matches, and having him go out in a squash pretty freaking unfortunate. So, and he really got he barely got any offense here. I mean, he got a little bit, not much though. But yeah, I think, are you wrong? No, but you know, I think you should definitely take others into consideration in your process of, you know, rating this match basically. Who's your pick to win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble? And then you got Braun Breaker right there. Honestly, I'm going to have to say right there is my pick. I think I'm right there with you on Braun Breaker, man. Obviously, he does have the upcoming match on January 5th, or I believe it's 5th. Yes, it's 5th. And he's going to go on one-on-one with CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title. That is obviously coming up. Could he win that? Could he win there? Abso-freaking-lutely. But if WWE does not let Braun Breaker win there, he is absolutely winning this Royal Rumble. I just do not see him not winning this Royal Rumble, man. Honestly, so is my pick to win the 2026 Men's Royal Rumble is going to be Braun Breaker, but that is going to be outruled if he obviously wins on January 5th. If he does not, though, he will definitely win this Royal Rumble. I just don't see WWE passing on this, especially after everything that he's done, Braun's done this year. The way he picks up towards the fans, and just and even that promo he just hit this past episode of Raw, man, absolutely stunning, man. Best promo of his career, absolutely one of the best promos. Probably of, you know, recent time, maybe. I don't know if I want to go that far, but I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, I think this was a great freaking promo. I think it was, I mean, it was absolutely awesome. And then, I mean, so all those things considered, he should definitely win this Royal Rumble, man. I mean, he's obviously in the group of the Vision. The Vision is supposed to be the future. Winning the Royal Rumble kind of makes you the future because you're going to main event WrestleMania. So it's just kind of like that thing, you know? So my pick here, my final thoughts, obviously Braun Breaker, but the only way he's not going to win is if he wins the title already at on January 5th, but we'll have to wait and see. But for sure, my pick is going to be Braun Breaker. All right, everybody, well, that is going to wrap up this week's Reddit video. As always, I do hope you guys did enjoy, and as always, be sure to leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, if you want to see more content from me, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Go follow the socials. Links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that, helps me a ton, and I will catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.